IRS retirement plan limits that just came out. Some big changes this year as we expected. So why don't you just run the viewers through what's changed this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of our predictions were pretty spot on. The first limit of note is the 402G limit. It's pretty widely expected to see an increase here, and that was the case. This is the limit for the combined total of pre-tax and Roth contributions. That is increasing up to $20,500 next year. Not uncommon to see $500 or so increase, but $1,000 definitely a little bigger than usual. It's absolutely reflecting wage growth and inflation that we're seeing in the market this year. One of the most commonly recognized limits that is not increasing are catch-up contributions. That limit will remain at $6,500 for 2022. Those are the additional contributions that can be made by those who are age 50 or older at any time during 2022. It's a nice bonus. Couple of other important limits that definitely don't get as much conversation. Everyone should know about and understand the 415 limit, or the total annual additions limit. This is the aggregate of new benefits that can be earned in a defined contribution plan. Pre-tax and Roth, the $20,500 counts towards this limit. It would also include company match, profit sharing, safe harbor, any company provided contributions, along with traditional after-tax contributions. So this limit is going up to $61,000 next year, a little bit more actually than we thought it might increase. So pretty healthy jump there. So more opportunities to earn benefits within the defined contribution plan. Eligible compensation is also of note. For higher earners, the IRS limits how much pay can be considered in the plan for the purposes of calculating benefits. That's going up to $305,000. Then lastly, for companies that use a pay-based definition of highly compensated for compliance purposes, that number is increasing. So recognizing, again, as we're seeing wage growth in the marketplace, what does it mean to be a higher earner is shifting as well.
Awesome. That's a great update. Question, if I'm a plan participant and these limits are changing, what do I need to do to make sure, or if anything, to make sure I'm getting to those limits?
Definitely a good time to revisit your savings elections, especially if you've made that election on a flat dollar basis. If you were trying to defer $19,500 evenly last year, you might want to look at increasing that number up to $20,500. If you're contributing as a percentage of pay, making sure that percentage is large enough to reach the IRS limits. Another important thing to keep in mind, and this gets a loss sometimes, if you're switching jobs mid-year, the 402G limit and the 415 limit are personal limits. So that's going to apply to you in aggregate. If you participate in two different 401k plans, you don't get to defer $20,500 twice. It's going to be up to you to manage those contributions. If you don't, then when you go to file your taxes, you're going to definitely have some additional work to do to have contributions refunded.
That's a great point. Another question I would have, I don't have it anymore because I'm old, but if I'm turning 50 this year, what do I need to do in order to make sure I'm taking advantage of the catch-up?
Check with your individual plan and your plan provisions. That's a plan-by-plan decision. Some plans do require that you make a separate contribution election to make catch-up contributions. So if that's the case for your plan, then make sure you go out and make that election. If your plan doesn't require a separate election for catch-up contributions, that means your payroll system is likely tracking that. It should recognize that you're having a birthday and therefore allow you to contribute above that core limit. But then you just need to make sure your contribution rate is high enough so that $27,000 is on track to come out of your paychecks.
In terms of how the limits increase, are they tied to inflation? Like, what's the methodology?
Well, the IRS has pretty much full discretion to make those changes. There's not officially any direct tie to inflation, but broadly, these are considered cost of living increases. So the IRS is looking at things like inflation and wage growth.
Awesome. Well, that's been a great update. Thanks for sharing that with us. And if you have any questions, just let us know.